fancy meeting you here in my bathroom. Today we are going to get ready for the morning. We're gonna get ready for the morning. I have very, very, very sensitive teeth. They're sensitive to cold and hot, so I always have to use a sensitive toothpaste. Sensodyne is the one that I usually go to, but this is what I am using right now. But I do have new Sensodyne to use. So let me brush my teeth before I do anything else. First I brush, then I scrape tongue. Okay, so because it's morning, so the first thing I do is I always put my hair back. This has like a bow, right? Like it looks like a bow. But I just close it around my hair because it has a wire inside. So I close it around my hair to keep my hair out of my face, okay? Then I let the water get warm, and because this bathroom is right on the other side of my water heater, it doesn't take long. Then I just get the water and wash my face as if I have soap, but I don't have any soap. And don't forget these parts, okay? Very important to get all of your face. Don't be rough, but don't be gentle either, okay? Okay, I get my microfiber cloths that are only used. They are only used for my face, okay? Then I pat dry. I do not drag, I do not rub, I pat. At least as best I can. There are some places like where it's in my hair, I will rub it. But everywhere else, I'm just trying to dry my hair. But everywhere else, I just pat dry. Now, I will use a new one every single day. So this is the one that I just pulled out for this morning. It'll be the same one I use tonight, but it does not get used for anything else. The one that I used yesterday, I will end up just drying my arm or the counter, and then I throw it into a laundry bag because microfiber will have a high likelihood of getting stuck to your dryer vent and burning to it. So please be careful because it will melt and then it'll be rough on your face and you won't like it. So that's what I do. So this is yesterday's. I'm not going to use it again today, but I will dry off my stuff with it and I'll leave it on the counter for the rest of the day. This will be here for the rest of the day just to keep drying off my arms and stuff, so I don't have to keep using this one. But this is only for my face today, and this one is only for not my face, and then it will go into the washcloth, the thing. I can't think right now. Okay, so now that my face is dry, I go in with my very first product. You guys can see how much I love this. This stuff is liquid gold. It's awesome, especially for those of us who have rosacea and red prone skin. It's getting pretty rough there. And then I just pat it in. Especially to my reddest parts. So I will focus on my chin, my face right here, my nose, and then everywhere else. Oh, we got a little bit more, okay. Okay. Pat it in, do not rub it in. I rub it into my hands, but my face I don't rub it. And by the time I'm done with that, it's usually dry. So then I go in with my Prequel. You guys see what this is. This is the multi-quench plumping hydration serum. And this has Ectoin in it. I really like Ectoin. And this is one of the most affordable Ectoins I've seen on the market. It's not cheap though. It's like $25 a bottle. But you can see I've already been using it for a month. And that's all that has been used. I only use it in the morning though. I only need one pump. That's it. I don't need more than that. Do the same thing. Pat it in. Because you want to layer in your hydrating products. They have different ingredients. So we are going to layer them on because tretinoin and azelaic acid can dry your skin out. And one of the other things that I do with my other one is I wipe down my bottles regularly. So that this way they're not dusty when I touch them and I'm not moving dust onto my face. So I will regularly wipe them down. I probably do this every day really, but at least once every other day. Always. Okay. That's already dry. Awesome. Okay. Now I'm going to use my Timeless. This is the 20%. You may not need it this strong. You might be able to get away with using the 15%. It's up to you. But you don't need more than 20%. At least all the research I've done does not show that anything higher is more beneficial. So this is 20% vitamin C. This is an active form of vitamin C plus ferulic acid and vitamin E, which are clinically shown to work wonders. 2 to 3 pumps. It's running out. So I start to use 3 pumps when it's running out. Normally I would focus a lot right here too, but I'm not today because I have some irritation going on right there. So I don't want to rub actives on it if I don't have to. Then always the back of your hands, okay? So whatever's left, get it on the backs of your hands. Don't forget about the backs of your hands. Normally I would bring it down to my chest too, but since I'm filming, I'm not going to do that. And then like everything else, gets a wipe down. Then we'll let that set in a bit. Then I'm using my Eucerin Eczema Relief Hydrogel. This does have colloidal oatmeal. So if you have eczema or rosacea, eczema or psoriasis, this is really, really good. If you have really dry skin though, I don't recommend it. If you have oily or normal skin, combination skin, this stuff is really good. I really like it. I don't have very dry skin most days. Every once in a while I'll get some irritated dry, like I'll get some dry spots. So I do recommend something that's thicker if that's the case. I do have this First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Rescue Barrier Balm. But I'm saving this for the winter because my skin's not that dry right now. So as long as it's not that dry, and remember, everything that's residual, rub it on the backs of your hands. Don't forget about the backs of your hands, guys. Don't forget. Okay, now what I do, again, we wipe everything down. I don't know if that's part of my OCD. I don't really know, but it's something. So we take care of it. And then I let that dry a bit, and it's already dried. So then I'm going to go in with the Dr. Idris Major Fade Disco Block. The only reason I'm using this one instead of the Naked Sundays is because it's hot. You get sweaty outside. And this one is water resistant, but only up to 40 minutes. So be aware of that. Two finger length. Then I spread it all over my face. And that is enough to cover not just your face. 1/4 teaspoon is what you're shooting for. And it's enough to not just cover your face, but that should be enough to cover your eyes. I mean your eyes. Your ears right here. And don't forget the tops of your ears. Which I don't never do because I have my hair down. But I'm showing you. Okay? And then drag it down your neck. And then I'll use a little bit on my hand, but I don't normally use this one for my hands. I just don't know where my body one is. But I'll just use at least something. Make sure you're using something on your body too, especially your hands, because they're always exposed to the sun. The most important thing is that you remember to let this set before you apply any makeup, okay? If you don't, you're not allowing it to put any cast on, which is how it protects your skin. Then I'm going to use Prequel's Sun Visor Sunscreen Lip Balm. And this one's clear. There is a dusty rose or pink or something, but it was sold out when I was trying to buy it. So that's what I use. That's what I use to protect my lips for the most part. There you go. But lately, when I'm not going outside, I will use, I stole David's Panama Jack, and I really like it. I really, really like it. I like the taste is not very strong. But then throw everything in here. Okay. Actually, the day's not over, so I'm gonna leave it right here. So I just make sure that I throw them all in here, and then I wash clothes like every day. So at least every other day. So I will throw this in when I wash, but I only wash these with all free and clear because, again, I have rosacea, I have eczema, and I have very sensitive skin. So I cannot risk using a lot of scents and dyes on things that go on my face. So I will usually wash this. I wash my bedding like 2 to 3 times a week. So I will throw this in with my bedding and my pillowcases. No scents, no dyes ever. I don't use fabric softener. I don't use anything. I use wool balls, and I use white vinegar in the wash. So in the wash, I use all free and clear plus white vinegar. That's how I wash anything that's gonna be on my face, okay? And then for the dryer, when I dry it, I'll use wool balls. I don't use fabric softener. I don't use fabric softener sheets. I don't use anything like that because it can cause a lot of irritation and it can trigger eczema, psoriasis, rosacea. So I stay away from it. It can also trigger acne. For those of you who are acne prone, please make sure, not just acne prone, but also rosacea prone, please make sure you are washing your pillowcases and your sheets that touch your face multiple times a week. I do not use my pillowcase more than 2 nights in a row. I will sleep on one side, and then the next day I flip it over. And then after that, I will pull it off. I usually throw it in these because I use silk pillowcases. So I'll throw them in here, silk or satin, but silk is my favorite. And then I'll throw them in here along with the microfiber washcloths. And then I wash them like that so that they do not get damaged. But I do not ever use them more than 2 nights in a row. Okay, so that's it. That's my morning routine. I've gone outside a few times and the wind is pretty strong, so it's messing up all my hair, but this wasn't about the final look. It was about my morning routine. That is my skincare every morning. The only exception is Mondays and Thursdays. I always pick days now. Instead of every other day or every third day or something like that, I pick days. So this way I do not forget. Did I do it yesterday or was I supposed, you know what I mean? So when you're supposed to do something every few days, instead of doing that, I do whatever day of the week it coincides with, right? So Mondays and Fridays, I will also use the Prequel multi-acid milk pill before I put anything else on. Before the Centella ampule comes on, this comes on. I just shake it, shake a few drops into my hand, and then tap it into my face, all over my face, except for my eyes. And then once that's dried, then I'll start my regular routine. That is, it's a very, very light exfoliation. So it helps with that. When you very first start using it, it could sting a little, but I have gotten used to it, just like the same way with azelaic acid. It stung at first, it doesn't anymore. I'm used to it now. So once your skin acclimates, you're good. Okay, so I might as well show you how I wash the stuff. Okay. So what I do is, here's the laundry bag. I put all of my terry cloth, or all of my microfiber towels, and this is the one for your head. That one's going in there. I put all of the little washcloths in there, and then I put my pillowcases in here. I just washed all of my pillowcases this morning, so there aren't any put in, but that's how I do it. Then I throw it in my washer. This is a Speed Queen. It's super dirty. I need to clean it. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't even know how it gets like this because I don't put anything in here. So I don't understand. I'll be right back. Okay. So let's just clean this. So I'm just going to throw one last piece of towel in there. And then what I do is I only fill up to the A. I have measured this, and that is 2 tablespoons. And I use this. This is all free and clear. Ugh. And then I get this cap and I fill this one to the 2 with nothing but pure white vinegar. And then I put it in this part. That is the fabric softener release, so it'll release it when it should be released into the clothing. And then you're not supposed to do this, but I do it anyway. Or you can, I don't care. This is what I do. Because I don't want to waste it, I just throw it in. And then it cleans the cap. And this will be released when it's ready. So that's it. That's all I do. And this is my Speed Queen commercial dryer, commercial heavy duty dryer, which I positively love this machine. I know it's not a very popular design to have the agitator, but there is research and studies that show that it is the best way to clean your clothes without causing too much damage and actually getting the dirt out of your clothes. Now, one thing that I do, I wash all of my sheets and pillowcases and all of that in hot water. Because of the rosacea, I need to make sure that I'm killing the Demodex mites that slough off my face. So I have to make sure that I'm killing them, so I wash it in hot water. But everything else I wash in cold water. And this, let me show you. Once I am done with certain fabrics, not all fabrics, but certain fabrics, let's see. Once I'm done with certain fabrics, I do not dry them. This is a silk pillow. This is an actual silk pillowcase, not satin. This is silk. And then these are my, they're kind of like plastic pot holders. So I do not dry these. I just let them dry naturally on top of my dryer. So this is how I do it. I just put it on the dryer and let it dry. But everything else, because it's in the laundry bag, will dry naturally in my dryer on its own with everything in there, and it will not melt into the back. This is what I'm talking about when I say melt. Okay. Do you see that metal grid in the back? That metal grid gets really hot and it circulates air. When it's circulating air, that thing acts like a vacuum. So some things get stuck to it. And then because it's microfiber, it melts into it. So I do not recommend drying it on its own without something. Or if you don't have a laundry bag, just go ahead and dry and put them on your dryer. And I live in Texas, so it's freaking hot. My garage is making me sweat already. Like I've only been in here, what, a couple minutes? Just to explain to you guys how I do things. And look, I'm already turning red. The rosacea's already, my rosacea gets triggered with heat. It's obscene. Okay, so today is master bathroom and bedroom cleaning day, so everything's a big mess. so forgive me. But anyways, so it was too hot in the garage. I had to come in. But do you guys see how red I am now? That is because it's too hot. I got too hot, and so my rosacea gets triggered. But anyways, when you have rosacea, it is believed that you have an overgrowth of Demodex mites on your skin. Demodex mites are normal. Everybody has them, but people with rosacea have too much. So you want them to not continue to be able to live on your pillowcases. This is a satin pillowcase. This is not silk. But this is my first day I'm putting it on because I'm washing the bedding right now. This, I will use this side tonight. I will use this side tomorrow. And then it'll go in the wash, and then I will put a new one on. I have about 5 that I can interchange, so in case I don't do laundry every day or every couple of days, I won't have to go without a pillowcase. However, if you have acne, it's also very important that you are not using the same pillowcase over and over and over for an extended period of time. My dermatologist has recommended that I not use it more than 2 days in a row. She's never suggested, you know, the same side or flip it over. That was just me. That's just what I do, and it's probably just part of my OCD. I don't know. But just be careful with that. That's all I'm saying. So that's the way I wash. That's my morning skincare routine. Plus, mini get ready with me. Plus, how I wash all of the skincare beans that fall into my daily skincare. I hope that was interesting to you. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, please let me know. I know that the majority of you are on weight loss journeys, and that's the #1 reason why you're here. However, for me, I'm not just looking to change my weight. I'm also looking to change my day-to-day. I'm looking to change the reflection in the mirror. I'm looking to change the reflection in the mental mirror. I'm looking to change the reflection in my heart. I want overall health and overall wellness, and to me, this is part of that. But I hope you guys are having a great day. I'd love to hear all about it in the comments down below. Good, bad, ugly. You know, I just want to be there to support you the way that you support me and give you your digital hugs. And I will see you soon. Bye.